So when you play on chess.com, your default screen probably looks something like this. If you go to the top right of your board, right below the settings icon, there's this button here with 4 arrows. This is called focus mode. And if you click on this, it's going to change how your screen looks. Notice how it kind of removes some things so it looks a little bit cleaner. And let me slide it over so you can see. And it also adjusted the clocks and the names. And the most important thing that it did was remove the rating. You can't see my rating anymore, and if I was playing someone, you wouldn't be able to see their rating either. This is something that I've recently started using, and I'm really glad that I have. And in this video, I'm going to give you 4 reasons why I think you should strongly consider using focus mode when you play serious games. Let's talk about why. Okay, so why do I think you should use focus mode? There's 4 reasons, and here's the first one. So for me personally, the first thing that I do every single time I start a game, before I even make a move, is I look at my opponent's rating. And I just kind of make a mental note of like, oh, they're the same rating as me, or oh, they're 300 points higher than me, or oh, they're 200 points lower, whatever the case may be. I just make a mental note of it. And a lot of times, you know, they're pretty close to me and I don't really think too much about it, but occasionally I'll get someone who's 300 or 400 points higher. And usually my thought process is something along the lines of, oh, wow, this is a strong player. Like, oh, wow, you know, I usually lose to these kind of players. Oh, wow, like I better play a really good game. You know, I wonder if I should play this opening or a different. All these things start going through my head that have nothing to do with chess and shouldn't be what I'm thinking about, right? I should be thinking about what move am I going to play? Let me play a good game of chess. The rating should have nothing to do with it, and yet that's immediately where my brain goes, okay? Same thing if it's someone lower than me. I'm like, oh, well, this should be an easy game. Oh, well, maybe I'll play this opening that I don't normally play because all these thoughts, right? When you turn on focus mode and you don't see the rating, I don't have anything to think about. There's no rating to look at. So it's like, okay, the game is starting. I'm focused on the game, okay? So number 1 reason is it starts the game off the right way, where you're thinking about the game and not thinking about something else like the rating and the points that you might win or you might lose, okay? So that's number 1 reason why I think you should consider using focus mode. All right, number 2 reason has to do with when you are playing against someone who's significantly higher rated than you. So I want to ask you this question and let me know if this has ever happened to you. You're playing a game, you notice that the person is, let's say, 300 or 400 points higher than you. And as the game goes on, you get to a point where you get into a pretty nice position. And you feel like, okay, I think I have a chance to win this game. And at some point in the game, you start having thoughts like this, like, ooh, I feel like I'm in a really good position. I feel like I'm about to potentially win this game. He's such a high-rated player. I must be missing something. Let me double check. Oh, now my time's a little bit lower. Should I just go ahead and move? No, there's got to be something I'm missing. And next thing you know, you're low on time. Maybe you end up blundering and you lose the game. And a lot of that started because in your mind, you were building up this pressure of like, oh, I'm about to beat someone really high-rated. This is okay. And all of that pressure had nothing to do with the position. Had nothing to do with the game. It had to do with the fact that you were thinking about the fact that, well, the person's rated 300 points higher than me. I shouldn't be able to beat them like this, right? If you didn't know that they were rated 300 points higher, you might have just thought, oh, well, they're probably just, you know, about my rating and it's just a pretty even game. Or maybe you thought, oh, well, maybe they're just a little lower than me and I'm just playing really well or whatever, right? So I think when you turn on focus mode, it relieves the pressure in situations like that because you don't know that you're in that situation because you don't know the person's rating, right? So that's the number 2 reason why I think you should turn on focus mode. All right, number 3 reason is very similar, but it's kind of the opposite when you're playing someone really lower rated than you. So 400 points lower than you. If you guys have ever done this, let me know. But what happens to me is if they're playing well, okay, the low rated player is playing well, there comes a point in the game where I'm like, I start to get a little bit nervous. I'm like, man, they're not falling for any of my tricks. I don't feel like they're making mistakes. I feel like they're playing just as good as me. And then my thought goes, I'm going to lose a lot of points if I don't figure out a way to win. And all of a sudden, there's this extra pressure of like, okay, I got to, you know, come up with some really good idea. I've got to maybe play a move that I probably wouldn't normally play because I need to mix it up. I start making these rash decisions that have nothing to do with what's the position on the board, you know, showing that I should play. No, I'm thinking about the rating. I'm thinking about all these other things, right? So when focus mode is on, I don't know that person's low rated. For all I know, they might be 300 points higher than me. Like, I just don't know. So it avoids the pressure that you get in the other situation like that, where they're low rated. Okay, so that's the 3rd reason. And the 4th reason, you might say, kind of just combines everything together, but I feel like it shifts the focus from the rating to the game. Okay, it shifts the focus from am I going to lose a lot of points, am I going to win a lot of points this game, and should I win, should I lose, and it becomes let's just play chess, let's just play a good game. I don't know what the rating is, doesn't matter what the rating is, I'm just going to play the best I can, and we'll go from there. All right, so those are the reasons why I think you should really consider using focus mode. Now I want to give you kind of one bonus tip, and this is one thing to kind of watch out for. When I first started turning on focus mode, I found myself kind of trying to guess what the person's rating was, right? So the game would start and they'd play some moves, and I'd kind of ask myself, I wonder if that's maybe that's a really strong player who would play that move. And then other times I'd be like, that almost seems like they might be a low rated player because I don't know, they're playing really quick, or that move just seems weird to me. And then I got into this, mindset of like, oh, it's kind of like I'm playing guess the elo with my game. Like, what's my opponent's rating, So I want to tell you, don't fall into that trap. The whole point using focus mode is to forget about the ratings. It's not to try to guess what there is, the rating is, and then check it after the game and see if you were right. If you're doing that, it's not accomplishing what it's supposed to accomplish. Okay, so if you turn it on, forget about the rating until after the game. You can check after the game and then see, oh, he was a high rated player, oh, he was low, whatever, right? You see after the game, that's fine, but don't think about it when you're playing. Focus on the game and playing good chess. All right, so having said that, hopefully I've convinced you to give it a try, or at least think about giving it a try if you find yourself thinking about the rating all the time. Now I'm just going to play one quick game. I'm going to use focus mode. I'm going to show you how it works, and we'll see if we can play the game without thinking about the person's rating. All right, so here we go. I just got a game, and I have no idea what the person's rating is, so I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to play this best, of a chess game as I can, and we will see what happens. All right, so I've been playing the King's Indian basically exclusively lately with white, with black, against e4, against d4, against e4, it's called the Pearts. But yeah, I've just been playing it a lot. I'm working on the course, and so I'm trying to learn as much as I can as I put that course together and get a lot of practice games in. So that's what's happening now. All right, let's go ahead and castle. This is interesting. This would kind of transpose into the Pierce kind of a thing. Yep, there we go. So I know we have to watch out for some potential tricks with this diagonal. Like if this pawn can get pushed, like if I play like knight here, we have to watch out for that. I also think, generally speaking, I think it's a good idea to trade this and play d4. You sack the knight and then you get the piece back. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like just a good trade. It gets rid of the bishop potentially, or a central pawn. So let's go ahead and do that. They can give up the bishop here, yeah, and then I just take with the rook. And now I got the bishop pair and this open, or half open f file. So I think that's fine. The other option would have been if they took here, then I would have played d4 and forked the pieces. So okay, I think this is fine. You do have to be a little careful with this g4, knight g4 ideas. So there's h3, which makes some sense. Or if I could just ignore it and go for this attack on the f6 knight. If the knight goes there, I could go back. I mean, I don't know if I want to actually give up that bishop, even if I do go there. So maybe h3, it solves this problem, but it creates a big weakness here, which I don't really like. I could just play something like e3. I really want to get this knight out. So many ideas here, and I don't really know. Maybe I'll just develop the knight. If the knight comes in there, I'll probably just slide the rook back. Am I going to get into trouble on the light squares? That's my only concern. I don't think so. I think we're okay, because I think we're starting to kind of create our own threats. So let's go ahead and play knight c3. Okay. So now there's this, but it does open up this square for my knight, which I think looks pretty good. Yeah, so we'll go for that. Now I can think about bishop g5 and pin this if they don't take it. And if this, I'm just going to probably go back. Okay, there's that move. I think I'm still going back. And let's see. Is there any reason to go anywhere else? I don't think so. Here, I think we can trade, and I feel like that pawn is going to be a target. Okay, so they're not going to take it. At least, I mean, they're not going to go there. So there's h3, kick it away. Then we have to deal with this. There's c3, but then knight here takes d4. That looks okay, actually. So maybe we just play c3. Just trying to kind of undermine. What happens on f5? Where's my knight going to go? f5, knight can probably go back here. I think it's okay. So we'll go c3. I'm using a lot of time. Rook to b8. Interesting. So their idea is they just want to recapture with the queen. Makes sense. Okay, so it might be time to kick this out. I understand I'm getting a weakness here, but I don't want to leave that knight just sit there any longer. I don't think. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll play h3. Gonna have to trade this bishop off. And then we'll try to win the pawn on e3. I think that's the plan. Yeah, so we'll take that and now try to win the pawn. And I do want to watch out that my knight doesn't get trapped. I have to be careful with that. Right now I have this square. Play d4. And then where's the knight going to go? If it goes here, I have b3. Can't go there. It has to go maybe back, and I can play like queen d3 to go for the pawn. That looks pretty solid. That looks pretty solid. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's kick that knight out. And then this is my target. Actually, I also have rook f3 to attack it if I need it. Okay. So the knight's on c6. Queen d3, going for the pawn. I like it. There's rook e8, but then this looks pretty weak. Maybe there's some tactics there. And I'm just trying to win a pawn, and then, yeah, okay, rook e8. So I can't take it now, or there's f5. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, so I have to play something like rook f3, or go for an attack on this. How would I do that? That doesn't work because bishop e6. h4 looks pretty slow. So I'm leaning towards rook f3. So I can take this with the rook. What about f5? If I hop over here and back, queen could defend the pawn. Okay, well, we got to make a decision. All right, let's try rook f3. I'm not seeing really too many other options, so let's go for this. Right, f5. Okay, so we got to move the knight over here. I think only move, right? Is that the only move? Yeah, so we'll go there. Now we have the attack on this. There is queen e7. We can get this rook into the game. We can... It's not that easy to attack that with the knight. We could do like this. It's going to take a while. I don't know what black's going to do. Let's go ahead and bring this rook over. I feel like that could be a useful... is this actually a move? Let's see. I have to take it, then the queen takes. Maybe that is a move. So maybe I do have to retreat the knight just to avoid that. All right, let's do that. Little tactic there. We can do this next move. Okay, so he wants to relocate the knight, potentially. That's fine. Let's bring the rook over. Now I have two moves to attack that again. Gotta watch the clock. Gotta go a little bit faster. Where's the knight going? Here? Yeah, okay. I do have the sacrifice. I don't think it's worth it at the moment. I can play h4 to prevent that. Then I have to watch out for this idea. Let's see. There's also this. All right, let's go. I don't want to let it go there. This I can at least probably trade that bishop off if I need to, and then I can use my knight to win the pawn. What I'm thinking. Okay, so he goes this way. So this is the threat, I guess. Okay, we can stop that with rook f4 because the bishop. I have to move quicker. Or I can just let it go there. I don't really know. I don't think I actually can do that because then I can just take the pawn. So maybe this is fine. We go here. All right, so 240, we got to go faster. There's this threat. There's this threat. I need to play b3 so that I can deal with this, I think. I have c4. This I have d5. My knight's still coming here to attack this. Okay, he wants to trade. All right, let's go here. I think we can still win that pawn if he pushes it, so I don't know what he's going to do now. Yeah, now we can just win that, I think, unless I'm missing something. Let's go here. I'm thinking I have this, I have king f2, I have... Okay, that's the idea. Interesting. What a weird position. Let's do this. Is that knight going to be trapped? This is the threat. Let's go ahead and go here. Can I trap the knight? Not sure. All right. Let's go here. Now I have some nice looking pawns. Yeah, this could be really good. This could be real good. Okay. I'm debating actually just sacking this. I think now's the time. Because I need to I just need to get these pawns rolling, and now I can do it because I don't have to worry about this anymore. I don't think the rook can stop them. Bring my king like up here maybe, or even just push them, depending on what black's gonna do. Okay. Let's do this. Threatening this guy. That's fine. You do have to keep an eye on this one though. It's probably more important than taking this pawn. Yeah, I don't really need to take that, but I need to make sure this doesn't become a queen, right? So you can use this to blockade it. And now we should be able to start pushing these, I think. So what's the best way to do that? This one? That's with tempo. Let's get this one going too. Okay, that's fine. Let's bring the king up. Keep pushing them. Bring the knight in so we can defend this and push this one. As long as I don't run out of time. How do we do this? How do we do this? Man. I don't see how to get through. Looks like I'm gonna get flagged, which is really sad. Really sad way to lose this game. Yeah, now we just lose the bishop. Well, pretty sure we had a win. I just didn't find it in time. All right, so I'll resign, and now the game is over. Now we can check and see what's going on. What's the guy's rating? What happened in the game? Okay, so he was a 24-42. I completely didn't get that vibe. I got the vibe that he was like lower, you know, and that's a good reason why I think turning off the ratings makes a lot of sense. Like I wasn't feeling, oh, this guy's really good. I was feeling like I think I'm outplaying him, you know, and he flagged me basically is what I would say. But let's go check. All right, so let's see. Opening was weird. Brilliant move. Okay. Yeah, so you can see like after that little trade, we're doing nicely. Okay, we're ahead by a little bit. Knight c3, not the best plan. What was the best move here? D4. So it was kind of important to not allow that extra control on e3. Okay, I didn't realize that. Okay, but even after all of this, I feel like we got into a nice position. Let's see. H4 is not awesome. Okay. Looks like it was a tough position for everyone involved. C4. All right, I don't know why that's a blunder. Whatever. Let's see. I really feel like once I sacrificed that rook, that I was just in a really nice position. Yeah, so I'm winning here. Completely winning, like I thought. Yep, completely winning. So, okay, Engine doesn't like it. It doesn't mind it totally. I'm still ahead. But yeah, not the best decision. So what should I have done? Let's see. Just bishop f3. Yeah, I didn't need to sacrifice. I could have just went for it this way. Probably push some of these pawns first, taking it with the bishop, completely winning. So the time did kind of mess me up, probably because I was talking and whatever. But the point from this video is that I didn't know he was 2400. I felt like I had a good chance. I felt like I was playing well, and I wasn't even thinking about the rating. And that's the whole point of using focus mode. Yeah, I really think you guys should use it. And so as a reminder, you can just click this button right up here, turns it on or off, and I recommend you use it. Let me know if you guys have used it, what your thoughts are, if you agree, you think it's a good idea, bad idea. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Stay sharp, play smart, take care.